Welcome to RiskAssure Solutions video tutorials. By now, you've had time to go through the introduction and the setup of locations, users, vendors, and equipment. This video tutorial is on the reviewing and modifying of pick lists. The pick lists are in your settings on the left-hand side menu bar, and you can click on Pick List Settings. When you do, all of the pick lists in the system will come up. Any one of these pick lists is subject to your modification and customization. For example, you can look under list name and you can click this alphabetical or reverse alphabetical. You can go under list location and that can be equipment, as you see, and vendors. That can be all of the equipment list types in one place, in order, or if you prefer to click the list name, you can do that. List location will give you everything to do with equipment or equipment and vendors, etc. If you wanted to look at the maintenance cycle and change a maintenance cycle, this goes from daily to weekly to every other week to monthly, quarterly, annual, semi-annual, every other year. I wouldn't advise changing that one, but that's up to you, of course. You change the name, and once you change the name, you can, and the code, you can then reorder them if you want to, and then you can save it back to the list. Once you have altered that, I would recommend that you go back into the pick list or drop-down menu, as they're also called, and check that your changes have held. This happens to be a care given, so if you did change one, that said rest or none or ice, elevation, compression, called parents, called paramedics, bandage applied, whatever it is. Once you've changed the name and or the code, that you can reorder them. You can delete them if you want to. You can add new ones if you wanted to. If you wanted to add a new entry, you could add a new entry and then reorder it and change it that way. But back to the list generally holds that and saves that, but I would go through and check that. Again, you can do it by the list name, alphabetical or reverse alphabetical, or the list location, which is the type of list or the category of list, everything to do with incidents, etc. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But those pick lists are fantastic because when you get into, let's just say, equipment, for example, we must, and this notice here, it says you must be at a location. This is good because, again, like in all the other tutorials, on the top left here where it says corporate body, it says you must be at a location. That comes out when you first set up locations. But now we have that. So now we have equipment. If we go into it at a particular location, and these pick lists, we'll go into our balance beam again. When you go into edit the equipment, notice that almost everything that has a pull down menu or what we call a pick list is subject to change back in that settings. Your current conditions, your maintenance cycles, whatever you need in your equipment, your vendors, or your incidents can be changed, altered, customized by going to this pick list settings and looking at the exact list name and altering the name and code, reordering it, deleting it, or adding a new one to it. Hopefully that is fairly self-explanatory for you. If you have more questions, look at the help section where there are other video tutorials as well as a complete video user guide with step-by-step processes for this and every other section of RiskAssure Solutions. Have fun and be safe.